So I bought a cage. Right, shut up so I can film. So guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video, I bought a cage. Me and Chaz will be installing my JP cage that I bought for my track car. I bought it in silver, looks quite nice. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So with JP cages, you've got plenty of options. You can get a lighter material, which obviously saves you a few kilos off of that. You can also get a cross frame across the front of that as well, which obviously makes it more structural. I went with the 680 option with it delivered, just a standard cage. It was £680 delivered, which I don't think is too bad. And I believe they are FIA approved as well, so you can use them for track use as well. If you decide you want to get a full cage in the future, they also make bolt-ons to make it a full cage. I went with silver, which is powder coated. They do that from their unit. They've also got these sandwich plates that come with the kit with bolts and fittings. So what you want to do is obviously drill your holes, fit that, and then clamp them underneath in your wheel arches, underneath your car, and bolt that to there, holding your cage in place. Connecting your whole cage to the chassis, basically. So these are all your bolts. That's all you need. They go straight through the inside of the car and bolt straight into the back of that. Holding it in place. Lovely, very nice. So got gussets, cross frame on the back. This is where your harnesses sit, so they bolt onto the back of there. This is from the back. This is what you'll see from your boot. It looks very nice. You've got your gussets there, which are on the cross frame on the back. Very nice. So that is the cage. The next thing we want to do is obviously take out the seats in that so we can get access to fit this bad boy in there. One seat out, boy. To show you guys, I got a fire extinguisher which just bolts into the seat frame. Very nice. So you can see I've taken all the seats out. With the JP cage you also need to remove the center console and then have all the space for the seats out, but obviously I've got nothing back there anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the car back so I can get the cage in, line up the holes, roll the holes, bolt it in. Very nice. Hey Chaz, I know you're busy. I've got you a present.
What is it? My hands are stuck.
Well,
you got to show him.
All right, close your eyes. Read that, viewers. There you go.
Is that for when you finally man up and get a Civic?
Yeah, man. Maybe one day.
You have to show him the Civic now, you.
Yeah. You want a video on the Civic?
Fucking get that thing out.
£80.
Well done.
Oh no! Mate, you're gonna have to take the door out, aren't you? Because you have to come back. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'll just take the door off. Shit.
There you go, boy.
Oh, I'd laugh he dropped it now and then.
So we got the door out finally. We should have known that beforehand, but luckily we're going to get the cage in now. Hopefully. Oh, what? Then bars go forward? If you turn it that way, go over there, Chaz.
No, stand up.
What?
It's not a how-to video, is it?
This is how to fuck it up.
It's just not a how to follow this video and you could definitely fit a cage with 10 people.
Right, hold on.
Now we're
Oh, now we're cooking with sauce.
Watch it, Chris has got his hands right by your wing.
Alright, let's take it back out and start the video again.
Yeah, well, we wasn't recording.
Starting again! Get some side cutters now, start cutting everything off. And then we can scratch it.
Happy days. Okay, so you join me back the following day. Unfortunately, it got dark pretty quick, and I underestimated how much you actually need to take out to get this car in. Obviously, you need to take door out, seat panels out, side mounts out, obviously, if you're taking your seat mounts out, seats, everything, the lot. You can obviously do it with 2 people. Better off to get as many people as you can to help angle it in. You don't want to obviously get scratches all on the inside. Easiest way is to strip your entire car out, unstripped, but obviously I want to keep the carpet for the meantime because it looks nice. We were supplied with some bolts, fittings for this sandwich plate, but obviously you can see there that's quite short. So what I've gone to a hardware store local to me, and I've bought some longer hardware because it will eventually screw it in. You can see the amount of difference that makes. It makes it a lot easier to install. I'd recommend doing that. So what I've done here is obviously I've put the chalk there on the front to prevent the wheel from rolling back. I've got the car on axle stands, taken the surrounding wheel well out because obviously you're going to need to get the sandwich plate in. Let's remove those. They just have like little 12mm bolts holding them in, and then it's got like 2 of the really horrible bloody Ford connector things that are in there, so they're a pain to get out. But once you're done, you can get it all stripped out, ready to go, and then obviously you can get your bolts in and then bolt it into the top there. So I would recommend 2 of you to help do this, but I've got the cage into position. I've just put the bolts through, and as you can see underneath, you can see those bolts have come all the way through. And what you want to do is get your sandwich plate here. So they've obviously welded the bolts onto the top there on a bit of stainless steel, it looks like. And what you want to do, have that plate go in underneath, connect it to there, underneath there somewhere, and basically get your thread in, and then basically just get it so it's like somewhat finger tight. You don't want it too tight, you just want it to get into position. And then when you have every other bolt in the rear as well on that side, you obviously then tighten it up as you go. So going from corner to corner. So let's do it. There we go. Right, so that sandwich plate, that's on just finger tight. Obviously it's quite loose at the moment. Those bolts are all in there. Obviously what you want to do is have someone bring the cage so it sits quite nicely. So we're going to do the other side now. Also, from probably what you noticed, I've had to take the rear seat delete out. Reason being is those corner pieces there is what's preventing it from sitting back. So what I plan to do in the future possibly is to cut a section out, either drill that whole section out with the tube sets and the cage, or I could just cut that section off, but what I'm going to do is cross that bridge when I get there. For the minute, the issue I've got now is obviously the cage is going to get pulled back from those sandwich plates beyond the front. What you could do is, obviously, if you've got enough, you can push it up into place, or you can get somebody else to come along and basically push the cage, because you can see that a bit of wobble there. Obviously, once you get the bolts in, you could obviously then bolt that down and it'll hold it into place, and then you get a sandwich plate. Get back, Shadrach. Should look very nice. That's 2. Right, so we can see the bolts are in. The cage does need to get shoved up a bit, but obviously I'll need somebody to push the cage, because you can see that's where it's better for the sandwich plate to then connect, because you want the bolts straight into the sandwich plate. Now that I've got that, I'm going to try and do that side. Hopefully those other bolts will sit in. Very nice. Right, so they are done. So they're quite solid. I think those ones are quite pushed in a lot more that side, so obviously they're a little bit tighter. You might find that, or maybe you haven't drilled the holes out properly. I would advise drilling holes fully, and maybe taking the carpet back and drilling a hole through that separately, because obviously you want to get it all the way through. But you can see they're all in there nice and tight. That one's still spinning, but I'm hoping you want those, you go straight down, plate sandwiched in. So that's the next plan now. So as you can see now, what we've done is just bolted each one in, and you can see the plate now is solid. So I'm going to do it on the other side. Right, okay, this one should be easier. Tighten whichever one you want first. Alright, yeah, that's enough, that's enough. Yeah, that's good. Alright, yep, good, yep. Right, that one went in easier. So that's that last plate. So all plates are in now, which is good. So I finally got the minion to work. How's them bolts doing, boy?
Yeah, going in, boy.
Yeah. So what you want to do is obviously tighten the front ones on first with the plate on the front sitting flush. Those ones sit at a slight angle like that. So obviously you want to do the backs to the front because then it brings that cage in nice and snug. As you can see, the actual plate does bend into place. So the cage is officially in, done. If you're ever going to do this job, make sure you get an impact socket because it takes forever for these bolts to go in. I recommend to be patient with this job because obviously it takes a lot of time. Only issue I had is I've actually snapped a bolt right there, which isn't good. So I plan to obviously in the future drill that through, but for the minute the cage is in, you can see that is solid. That is not moving at all, which is very good. So we're going to transition to tomorrow and I'm going to show you my new harnesses now. So here we are, these are my new harnesses. This is the passenger one, which is a 4-point harness made by OMP. It's got its lap straps and the shoulder straps, and then it's just got your little button in the middle that holds all together. I'll show you, I've got 5-point harness. As you can see, this is all connected in there. You've got your 2 straps going down here, which will go underneath that bit there. I've already had a little fiddle with the shoulder straps, so I've already seen and given it a go. It looks quite nice, to be fair, because you've got that there, which you can strap it down. Same with this side as well, and it all just unclips just like this, which is quite cool, quite fancy. You just click it back in, and then all the bits just go like that, and that's it. So nice and secure. It's my first time that I'm going to be installing a harness before. I've seen a few videos online. Looks pretty straightforward, but I said that about the cage, and that obviously didn't go to plan. So I'm going to give it a go and see how I get on. So what we want to do, we've got this bar here on the back of the cage. You want to get this strap in underneath. You've got your little bracket there, and you want to push it down and bend that, just like that. And you pull that through, and want to get that other piece tucked in down here, and that's there. And then from there, you just want to tie it up, give it a little pull, like that. So you can see they're on. They're not quite tight, but I just want to see what it'll look like in the front because I want that front bit looking nice. So you can see here, they sit quite even. I mean, they're a little bit off, but not by much. I still need to adjust it just that little bit. Pulling that one down, you can see that's fairly straight. I did try and use that, but to be fair, that worked a lot better. So I might just try and like pinpoint my holes with that one and then use that. Because we have now got a hole, which you can see underneath. Yeah, let's hope I've drilled it right. We got a hole. Oh yes. There you go, you can see that there is now in. And if this does reach, you can see that is all locked in. I think I'm done. So that side's now in. Use pliers to tighten that up. Obviously it's not even, but I wanted it to sit flat where it was going to go, so that's on there now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this part of that seat belt now because I don't need it. Don't need it no more. Get the chair out, drill a couple of holes, and I've just lengthened this to where I need it. So I've got them, the eyelets will attach to them, same as the rest. So I've just kind of like sat in the seat, leveled it up, make sure it all looks good, and time to take the seat out. So once again, the seat is out. I'm going to try and find some nice places to drill holes. You obviously want a nice bit for the plate to sit flush on underneath. You can put it on an angle or some bits where it's like rigid, but preferably just where it can sit nice. So obviously people like track cars like to take all their carpet out, weight reduction. Me being an idiot, I want to keep my carpet because I actually quite like the carpet look. I still want to be able to enjoy it as it is. I've had to cut all of this. It looks like an absolute horror show because obviously look how thick this carpet is. It's quite a thick boy. And if I didn't, it would sink like that. So you wouldn't be able to get that little eye hole. So what I've done is had to cut it so it sinks in like that so I can get the clips on. So I've done one, that's underneath, and now I'm going to drill the last one, and then I hopefully should have enough length for the harness to sit through and wouldn't have to adjust it. Right, so thankfully that one's in, that's nice and solid, that one there as well. You can see in underneath here we've got one, and then we've got another that's on that side. When you're obviously installing these, just mind out that you've got this party chassis here that can get in the way. That plate is a bit wonky, but you can see here it is nice and solid, as that's not moving at all. So finally, last step. I know this is probably getting boring now, but you can see they're in nice and solid. They ain't going nowhere. There we go, people. Chair is officially in. That is nice and snug. We've got that pot there now, which is very good. Now the last bit to do is push this cushion down. Ooh. Nice and snug. Look at that. It's a boy. So finally, after a knackering few days, the cage is finally bolted in, harness is bolted in, and I managed to actually cut out the rear seat delete kit as well, meaning that I've got it fitted in the cage. So I'm going to show you that now. There we go, guys, so that's all of it installed. As you can see, carpet's gone back in, all bolted in nicely. I also sprayed this silver as well, which looks kind of nice if the camera wants to focus, so it matches the cage. I've also bought a new cargo net that's going to be black, so that's going to match as well. And from inside here, you can see I've cut out for that there. I didn't really do too much of a good job, but it looks alright for what it is, so I'm pretty happy with it. At least I can fit the receipt in, keep it OEM plus, and look at them. Sick they are. Proper nice, really happy with it. Nice DIY build. So this is going to wrap up today's video. Obviously if you've enjoyed, make sure you like the video, make sure you comment down below, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.
Really come to party, I just came to get my money right. You really wanna party, you should know that I don't fucking fight. Everybody wanna step up, step up and get up tonight.